We are live. Welcome.
Welcome.
To Calm Nation.
Yeah.
Hey! What's your name? Erin. Tip. So you're Mac, right? So you're the first paperboy around here who wasn't a boy.
You must be the Brandman kid.
KJ.
My dad says you people own everything.
You people? She's new. All right, Big Mac. Let's go.
I'm gonna bite you or something.
What is that? Why does this guy look like that?
Move! Let's get out of here!
Hey! Who's there? What are you doing in my house?
What are you doing in my house?
I live here.
No, I live here.
That's her.
Holy shit. This is a psychotic break. 12-year-old version of yourself broke into your house with her punk friends?
If that really is future you, maybe she can call someone. Who's she gonna call?
Time travel 911?
Do you want to call 911?
Oh, good lord, there are future robots. We need help. I might know someone.
The girls traveled out of your time. That's a capital offense. You're targets now.
It's nice knowing you, I guess. We can't just give up.
You don't know who you're about to become.
Future me will know how to get us home.
You have no idea what's at stake here.
Yeah, it's the fate of humanity. I get it.
This, right here, is the end of the universe.
We're paper girls, so we stick together. Well, future you is not all that bad. She did give you that rad shirt, which says dumb on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome soundtrack, by the way, on the show. Just have to say.
Yeah. So, good evening. We're
Good
calling.
evening.
We do trivia, a couple other things. And we do trivia about comic books because we like comic books.
We do.
And we like talking about comic books we like to you, anyone who's kind enough to listen.
Yes.
And if you don't like comic books, well, hang on there. Stick around, give us 20 minutes or so, and maybe we'll be able to change your mind.
Right. Because we talked about lots of different type of comics, like this one.
Yeah.
For example.
So, yeah. And yes, again, like, subscribe, follow, alert, all of it. Do
Click
it
the
all.
bell.
Click the bell.
Visit the website.
Take the potion. Red pill or blue pill. So tonight, we are talking about Paper Girls. And if you are cool enough to be following us live, then right now, go to crowd.live/G7TFL and you can play along with us. If, unfortunately, you're watching us afterwards and we take this, next week you can come, you can be part of the action, but if not, you can still follow along.
You can still follow along and still try and challenge yourself with the slide.
Exactly. And if you want to, you can scan the QR code, etc. And again, if you want to know the rules and regulations or join our mailing list, you can go calm-nation.com.
Yep.
All sorts of fun.
Exactly.
But hey, let's get started. 10 seconds. So Paper Girls was first published by Image Comics. Tom and I remember when Image first started, it was founded in 1992? And it was very superhero, power guys, muscles, capes, the whole thing. But then
they figured out that you could tell other types of stories. That
yeah.
be a bunch of guys in tights.
Although always nice to see the guys in time. I don't know. So some of its best known publications: Spawn, Savage Dragon, Witchblade, which was I think all of these are movies and TV shows. Walking Dead was an Image comic book, which is hugely popular TV franchise. Invincible, Saga, Jupiter's Legacy, Kick-Ass, Radiant Black. So started off as some superhero guys in a tent, and then became something much, much more.
Yes.
Okay. Where does Paper Girls take place? Stony what?
Is it Sunnybrook, Rebecca? Sorry.
Stony Stream, which is, of course, a suburb of Cleveland.
Well.
But Stony Stream is fictional, as is the show,
right,
and etc. And as is the paper that they deliver. The Cleveland paper is the Cleveland Plain Dealer. They, of course, deliver the Cleveland Preserver. And another thing that's fictitious is the Cleveland Browns, because seriously, it would be better that way. Yeah.
I hear there might have been a team there once, but then they moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens.
No. So
that's another story.
Yeah, you don't expect football humor from us. Now, when does Paper Girls start? What year? This one's kind of easy because it was on the trailer.
1999? Like we're going to party then?
Yeah, 1988. Now, specifically, it starts at Hell Morning, 1988, which comes after Hell Night, the day after Halloween. Hell Night, in a lot of places, that's what they call Halloween, and Hell Morning the day after, because it's also Mischief Night. It's when people are running around, they're breaking things, they're setting fires, they're doing all sorts of damage. And as they say in the book, Hell Morning, that's when all the crazies are still out. And of course, to know more about the crazies, you
gotta read the book. Or wait till November 4th and then see all the crazies. But
hey, 1988, couple of things that were happening in 1988. George Herbert Walker Bush was running for president, and he won.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who he was running against?
He ran against Mondale, did he not?
Dukakis.
The first one.
Dukakis.
Was it? Oh, that's right. It was Dukakis. Yeah, that's right.
So, and let's see. And the Soviet Union was going through huge changes.
Yes.
Yeah. Lots of stuff happened in 88. Yeah, exactly. Dukakis, absolutely. JJ knew.
Of course. Political trivia, not my strong suit.
The first paper girl we meet in the story is
Erin.
So it's not Erin Brockovich.
Yeah.
She's actually a real life activist and the movie.
Feature movie played by
Erin Gray.
That was the actress that played Colonel Woman Daring way back when in the Buck Rogers TV show we all know and love, and has since gone on to fame as a person who brings lots of celebrities to comic book shows.
I know.
Yeah.
I know Erin Moriarty is an actress who plays, she's in The Boys.
Right.
Yep. But the character we're looking for is Eric Tieng.
Tieng. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Erin has a sister named
Melissa McCarthy? No.
Yeah, rumor has it Melissa McCarthy and Jenny McCarthy are cousins. Who knew? Family's awesome. But yeah, Erin Tiang, she is Chinese, or of Chinese descent. She speaks Mandarin, and I believe her family actually are fairly recent immigrants to America.
Yes.
In the storyline, the family's had some trauma and some sad news.
Yes.
You know, not sure how they're portraying that in the TV show, but if you want to see how they handle it in the book, read the book.
That's one part where the book and the TV show are fairly similar.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good. Now, in the book, an astronaut appears to Erin. Does that happen in the show?
Well, it hasn't yet. Not the episodes I've seen.
And that astronaut is Krista McAuliffe. And Krista McAuliffe was the first teacher to go up in space. Unfortunately, she went up on the Challenger, and that's the one that blew up. Now, it's interesting. She actually died in 1986, and in 1988, when this started, that's when, you know, after 1986 and the Challenger blew up, they stopped the space shuttle program for a while.
Yeah.
And the Challenger, you know, and then in 1988, they had restarted it. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what caused all the trouble. Maybe not?
Maybe not. But
now, the first girl to have a paper route was Mac.
otherwise known as...
Mackenzie. On the TV show, she's played by Sophia Rosinski, who is like 12, so I'm not sure what else she's done, but I'm sure she's done some other stuff. And Mackenzie, she's awesome. She's an incredibly tough girl. At 12, she's smoking Camel cigarettes. She's mouthing, in the book, she's mouthing off to cops, and she's standing up to bullies who are harassing her friends.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
Yeah. Got all the sass you need to take down all the tough guys.
Now, Mac took the paper route over from her brother.
And his name is...
Now, we've kind of mentioned, but it's like, but the TV show was inspired by the comic, but in no way, shape, or form is looking at the comic for how to do its pacing, how to do its storylines, etc. Certain things are the same, certain things are completely different, and one of the big differences, at least at this moment, is Dylan, the brother, because in the comic book he's like there for a second and then out, but in the TV show he's a huge part. So Cliff Chamberlain plays Dylan Coyle, and he's done a ton of stuff that I can't think of offhand, but you know.
He's been in a lot of different dramas and TV shows and some Aaron Sorkin shows and popped up in different stuff. Yep.
Yep. Done some science fiction work, a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's KJ. You people own everything. That's because KJ's Jewish. So it's a little bit of a...
Yeah, it's a little bit of a dick. Although it's not really...
So KJ
Short
is
for.
short for Karina J.
Hmm.
And one of the things you notice early on in both the comic and in the TV show is all four of the girls are very different.
Yes.
Karina is Jewish, Mac is Catholic. You know, the show seems to center a little about around Erin, who's having some challenges assimilating, more you is the smart one. We'll talk about Tip in a minute. But, you know.
Karina is kind of the active sports, maybe slightly more popular girl because she's the more affluent than me, but maybe not.
And again, in both the book and the show, KJ and Mac have a special dynamic, but you should really read the book to find out about it. Or watch the show.
Either one. Or
Now,
both.
what school does she attend?
She's part of one of those fancy academies.
It's not Beauxbatons, which is short for Beauxbatons Academy of Magic. That's the French wizarding school in the Harry Potter universe. And it's not Solstice Academy, which is usually known simply as the Academy. That's based in Rexentrum, and that's the principal place of magic study in the Dwendalian Empire. So it's not that, because she's in Cleveland.
Right. And
Also not
is in Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And a fictitious one of that.
And it's fun. It's famous for, there's been a series of movies and cartoon comic strips. And again, not in Cleveland.
Nope.
She goes to Buttonwood Academy, which has the cutest name ever.
Cute as a buttonwood.
Now, we talked about the fact that KJ is a little bit more athletic.
Yes.
And she wields a
sparkling personality to go along with her
hockey stick. There's a couple other weapons that appear in, I think, both the TV show and the book. But yeah, it's the hockey stick. She usually has it, which makes sense because she plays field hockey. Because she's the athletic girl, you know.
Exactly. You know, kind of like Breakfast Club. You got the jock, you got the brain, you got the popular one, you got the...
Exactly. The princess.
Right.
The basket case.
Yes. But they're all more than that.
Now let's talk walkie-talkies.
Let's talk walkie-talkies.
Now, the first ever walkie-talkie was the C58 pack set. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, for no additional points, Todd, when do you think the first walkie-talkie, which wasn't called that at the time, when do you think that came into being?
Back in 1937, right?
You're looking at the notes, which is good, which is true. 1937, that's the first walkie-talkie, which wasn't called the walkie-talkie. It was just a wireless portable field transmitter.
Yes.
So
and they were big.
And they were huge. Portable's a relative term, y'all. They were big.
Yeah.
Now, the SCR 536 and the SCR 300 are both World War II era walkie-talkies. By then, they were pretty much called walkie-talkies. Although
technically walk and talk with one. They were so cumbersome.
Yes, but the they were, except I think they were called handy talkies at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the SCR 300, if you've ever seen a World War II movie and the guy has a huge backpack that's the radio, that's the SCR 300.
Yeah. Saving Private Ryan or Force Center Navarone or.
Yep.
Bridge Too Far.
And if you've ever seen the World War II movie and it's that sort of rectangular, like oversized phone thing, that's the SCR 536.
Yes.
But what Tiff had was the realistic TRC 218 CB, which is still available on eBay and very much coveted by folks who love this stuff.
And if it's a TRC, that means it's a Tandy radio product, which is probably part of Radio Shack.
Oh, absolutely. It's realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Realistic was Radio Shack's brand.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
We know these things.
Because we were around back in
the day. Now, the first generation following the invention of time travel are called The old timers. Again, this is one of the things I was noticing. It seems as though on the show they call it the old watch, but in the comic they called it the old timers.
I suppose the Old Republic Star Wars thing.
Yeah, the Old Republic is a Star Wars reference. In fact, it's specifically a multiplayer role-playing game.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Old Guard. Come on. You know what the Old Guard is. That's the Greg Rucka comic that became the Netflix movie.
Right. Yeah. Comic. Right.
And Old Men, well, there's no country for old men.
No.
So it's the old timers or the old watch, depending on if you're talking about the comic or the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And their leader is
take us to your leader. Father.
So the old watch or the old timers are led by the grandfather, who is played by Jason Mantzoukas. And I'm trying to remember, he was in the movie where he kept being reborn. Anyway, he's done a lot of stuff. He's a lot of fun. And a key field agent of the Old Watch is the Prioress, who's played by Adina Porter, well known from her role in American Horror Story. But the other one's the Allfather.
This is sometimes another name for Odin of Asgardian fame.
Mm-hmm. Just like the mother is the All-Mother.
Yes.
The founding father, well, we have founding fathers. Those are the fellas who, yes. The founders were a group of American revolutionary leaders. Those guys
made a constitution, dumped some tea in a harbor, did a few things. Yeah.
Stuff. But, y'all, you know who Highfather is, right? Right?
Yeah, he's the leader of the New Gods. And Jack Kirby's Fourth World mythos. And did opposite number two.
One of these days, we'll tell you all about the New Gods. Or maybe not.
Yeah, we'll get on the list eventually, I think.
And the final question, lifting straight from the graphic novel.
Mm-hmm. It's their trivia question, actually.
Which tribe named the crooked river the Cuyahoga? Was it the Mohawks, the Iroquois, the Apache, or the Blackfeet?
If you get it wrong, you're going.
So the author of this series, Paper Girls, Brian K. Vaughan, he is actually, I believe, he's not only from Cleveland, the area that he based it, but he's still living there.
Yes, you're correct.
And Brian Michael Bendis is not only from Cleveland, but also attended the Cleveland Institute of Art. But of course, the famous comic book connection with Cleveland
it's where a couple of teenagers named Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster grew up for a while and got to know each other and came up with this character that's managed to hold on for a little while named Superman.
Now, to be clear, they were freelancing and sending the stuff into DC Comics, but Superman was born in Cleveland, y'all. Superman's from Ohio.
Right. Clark Kent might be from Kansas, but...
And while I'm not completely sure, rumor has it that there's a bunch of folks who are, creators and such who are still in Cleveland. Greg Rucka, Harvey Pekar, Cleveland. Who knew?
Drew Carey.
Did not do comic books last time I checked.
He's not a comic book
He
guy.
loves Cleveland.
Yeah. Because it rocks, really.
Cleveland rocks. All right. So again, tonight we were talking about Paper Girls. It's a great book. We love Paper Girls. I was about to say we love Cleveland. Hello, Cleveland. Anyway,
Cleveland.
But again, it's a great book. It's not the same as the show, so you can absolutely enjoy the comic book and absolutely enjoy the movie and absolutely see the differences. If that's going to frustrate you, we're just going to be upfront about it.
The nice thing about it is that means that if you've read the book, or if you go out and read the book and then see the TV show, they both are interesting spins on the story.
Mm-hmm.
So you get two exciting adventures.
Yeah. So next week we're going to talk about Dr. Fate.
Yes.
Now, to be specific, we're going to talk about the Blood Prize because it's our favorite Dr. Fate. But again, Dr. Fate, he's one of those characters. There's a lot of different versions of him floating around.
Mm-hmm.
But since he's going to be in the upcoming movie, we figured it'd be nice.
Yeah. And fate fortunes the brave.
So, hey, tonight, JJ's the winner. Good job, JJ.
Good job. Wow. They're all doing a good job. Yeah.
Join our mailing list.
Yes.
Follow, like, etc. We are going to be trying. We're going to be trying to do some Comic-Con appearances
in the near future.
Join the mailing list. We'll see. We're trying to do Baltimore, maybe New York. Who knows? Those are easy to get to. If you have ideas for books, let us know. If you have questions, comments, complaints, etc., let us know. Maybe we'll be able to answer you. Maybe we won't. But again, if there's a comic you love, let us know. Because we like comics, and we like you, and we like sharing.
Yeah. Be sure to read more comics.
Exactly. All right.
Especially the paper kind.
Again, I like mine digital. They're so much tidier. They are so much tidier. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.
Night, folks.